What's up, fight fans? Welcome to another episode of Irtaza vs. Mustafa Sports Talk. We're definitely discussing the upcoming UFC event. As you can tell, I'm very excited about it. 3 championship fights. I'm talking about the one headline by Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal. Before we get into it, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to our page. Spread the word. Follow us on Hussein Bros 23 on Instagram. And we're going to dive straight into it, and let me just pass it over to my brother.
Yeah, some great fights, 3 title fights. We're going to pretty much just discuss the 3 title fights. And I'm going to start off straight by giving my picks on those fights. So I think, for some reason, Masvidal is going to win. Even though he didn't show anything like he's going to win from last fight, he only had 6 days notice. He pretty much just had to make weight, so he couldn't go all out throughout the fight. He didn't have his proper training camp. He probably didn't have enough cardio and stamina to push the pace for 5 rounds, and he still went decision with possibly the best fighter in the game right now, Usman. So I would choose Masvidal by knockout. And Shevchenko versus Andrade, I'm gonna have to stick with the champ Shevchenko. She's the second best women's fighter I think ever in UFC history after Amanda Nunes. And she's the only one that can give Amanda Nunes some trouble. So I'm going to stick with Shevchenko. And Rose versus Weili. That's a tough one. Rose can possibly win by decision if she keeps her distance and throws out the jab and just tries to pick her apart from the outside. But if it gets into slugfest, I can see Weili winning by knockout. So I don't know about that. That's a toss-up.
I completely disagree. I agree with Shevchenko. I think Shevchenko is also going to win, and I do think she is the second greatest female fighter of all time in MMA. But I definitely disagree. In my opinion, all 3 champs are leaving with their belts. No, there's no belt changing hands this event. I don't think Rose can beat Weili. I think Weili is way too dominant. She's a much better fighter, much better striker. I think she's going to win and she's going to overpower her. Same with Shevchenko. Shevchenko is way too good of a striker and she's a lot more powerful. And I get Jessica Andrade is moving up, but I don't think that's going to help. She's going to be too small for her. And as far as Jorge Masvidal and Kamaru Usman are concerned, I think Kamaru Usman is the greatest fighter in UFC right now. I think he's pound for pound the best fighter. He's going to be a lot stronger. He's going to weigh in more than him. He's going to be heavier. So, like Jorge said, last fight he just pushed him against the cage, stomped his foot, didn't really get into a fight with him. I think that's a positive thing for Usman. He took a fight on a 6-day notice. Didn't train for that fighter, who's a great striker in Jorge Masvidal. Did what he had to do to win. I think Kamaru Usman, if he does the same thing, but is more aggressive in his clinches and is more aggressive in his when he gets him against the cage, he can take him down. I think he can finish the fight with the ground and pound. I think Usman is a much better striker. Much better wrestler. And I think on the striking front, he's really good. His jab is really strong. He's a bigger guy, and he has a chin on him as well. So it's not easy to knock out Usman. So I think this weekend we're going to see all champions win the fight, and that's what I believe is going to happen.
Yeah, but the most important thing and the main thing is that the fans are back. Finally, it's going to be the first UFC with full fan capacity. I think around 15,000 plus are going to be in attendance. I don't know if it's the safest thing to do during the pandemic, but it's great for the UFC and their fans and the fighters that want to feel that same energy as they used to, instead of fighting in an empty stadium. So it'll be great to see if they pull it off, and hopefully they pull it off safely, and they can continue to do these UFC events with full stadiums and do it in a safe manner.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very excited for the fans coming back, but at the same time, I'm gonna miss not having fans, because you get to actually hear the punches, the kicks, you get to hear the strikes, you get to hear the coaches, the advice they're giving, especially in the Apex Stadium, in the Apex Center that the UFC was fighting at. But again, like obviously the atmosphere with the fans, you're more excited watching it at home when fans are around cheering, booing. It makes it a lot better. So I'm definitely excited for that.
Okay, but let's go back to the Usman fight. I don't know. I understand why you think Usman's gonna win because he's on a 13-fight win streak, longest win streak I think in the UFC right now, and he's probably the most dominant champion. Him and John Jones in the UFC and Amanda Nunes. But I really believe from the last fight they did that he couldn't really hurt Masvidal. As Masvidal said that he doesn't punch hard, he doesn't grapple like rough. So I believe him. I think he's not gonna be able to take him down because Masvidal has really good takedown defense. He doesn't use his wrestling that much, but he can wrestle, and he can strike much faster than Usman. As you've seen, Gilbert Burns hurt Usman, almost knocked him out because he's a quicker striker, faster, and Masvidal's even faster than that. So I think Masvidal has a chance within the first 3 rounds. I think to end the fight. It's just my opinion. I'm not taking anything away from Usman. He's one of the best ever, but I think his striking is too slow, and I don't think he can outpower Masvidal. But let's see. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I think Usman's gonna win. I agree. Masvidal's great takedown defense. He's a great striker, but Usman's a good striker too. He might be slower, but he's got a really strong jab. I think his striking's gonna hurt Jorge Masvidal. I don't think his punches are too soft, but we never know. But I think for Usman to win, what he needs to do is turn this more into a dirty fight, turn this more into a wrestling match. If he can push him against the cage, if he can push him and dirty box him in there, if he can take him down, throw knees in the clinch while he's in there, ground and pound him, turn it into a fight like that, and be first. If he can put his weight on him, if he can be more aggressive, I think that's what he needs to do to be successful against Masvidal. But I think if Masvidal can stop the takedown, keep the fight more at a distance, and kind of strike him, make it a more technical striking match, then maybe he can pull it off. But I don't think so, because Usman can take a hit too. He's got a strong chin. He gets dazed. He's been rocked before, but he's always come back. He's never really been dropped. Even with the Gilbert Burns fight you brought up, yes, Gilbert Burns was faster, did hurt him, it wobbled him while he was on his feet, I believe, with a head kick. And Usman, came back, pushed his pace, and got the win. I think if he gets hurt, he'll still be able to do that. But I think if he does that, he's almost a guarantee win, in my opinion, for Usman. And we'll just see. It's going to be an exciting fight. I think it is going to be a barn burner of a fight. I really do. I think both guys are going to bring it. It's going to be a great event. I think also the Rose and Weili fight is going to be a barn burner of a fight as well. I think both are going to be very aggressive. It's going to be a good fight. As far as Andrade and Shevchenko, I don't think that's going to be too close of a fight. I think it's a pretty easy win for Valentina. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a great event. We'll see what happens this Saturday. Let's just hope all the fighters make weight, stay healthy, and get through this and we'll put on great performance. So that's it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoy. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram at HusseinBros23. And please take care of yourselves, stay safe, and stay healthy. And also, just let us know your picks and who do you guys think is going to win out of those 3 title fights. Thank you for listening, and take care once again.